All right, the Old Testament this morning is Isaiah 7, 1 through 16. When Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, was the king of Judah, King Rezin of Aram, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, marched up to fight against Jerusalem, but they could not overpower it. Now the house of David was told, Aram has allied itself with Ephraim. So the hearts of Ahaz and his people were shaken, as the trees of the forest are shaken by the wind. Then the Lord said to Isaiah, Go out, you and your son Shear-Jashub, to meet Ahaz at the end of the aqueduct of the upper pool on the road to the launderer's field. Say to him, Be careful, keep calm, and don't be afraid. Do not lose heart because of these two smoldering stubs of firewood, because the fierce anger of Rezin and Aram, the son of Remaliah, Aram, Ephraim, and Remaliah's son have plotted your ruin, saying, Let us invade Judah. Let us tear it apart and divide it among ourselves, and make the son of Tabeel king over it. Yet this is what the sovereign Lord says. It will not take place. It will not happen. For the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is only Rezin. Within 65 years, Ephraim will be too shattered to be a people. The head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is only Remaliah's son. If you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all. Again, the Lord spoke to Ahaz. Ask the Lord your God for a sign, whether it in the deepest depths or in the highest heights. But Ahaz said, I will not ask. I will not put the Lord to the test. Then Isaiah said, Hear now, you house of David, it is not enough to try the patience of humans. Will you try the patience of my God also? Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Immanuel. He will be eating curds and honey when he knows enough to reject the wrong and choose the right. For before the boy knows enough to reject the wrong and choose the right, the land of the two kings you will dread will be laid waste. That was a tough one. This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. Sheets.
blessing to have such wonderful accompaniment in our service each Sunday morning. So that even if the sermon is not good, at least you remember the music. That's just what it is. They complement each other, right? Yeah, you remember something. That's why we are here. You're here to take something away. You don't want to take bad news. Oh man, the sermon was terrible today. But let me just see if we can make some connection here between, we're talking about the time space of 700 years prior to the birth of Jesus, and then the same prophecy is being repeated just before Jesus' birth. And it comes from Luke 1, 26 through 37, just as it appears on the screen. It says, in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee, to a virgin pledged to be married to a man named Joseph, a descendant of David. The virgin's name was Mary. The angel went to her and said, greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you. Mary was greatly troubled at his words and wondered what kind of greeting this might be. But the angel said to her, do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. How many of us want to find favor with God? Yes. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. Yes. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over Jacob's descendants forever. His kingdom would never end. Yes. How will this be? Mary asked the angel, since I am a virgin. The angel answered, the Holy Spirit will come on you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy Spirit, the Holy One to be born, will be called of God. Even Elizabeth, your relative, is going to have a child in her old age, and she who was said to be unable to conceive is in her 6th month. For no word from God will ever fail. Yes. Amen. This is the word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
And may the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our Redeemer and our strength. I have for us today signs of the Immanuel. How do you read it? Signs of the Immanuel. How do you read it? Well, we know we talked about signs here before, and you know what signs is. Otherwise, you won't be driving in the city or even on the highways. So we can't even talk about signs. But let's talk about how does sign relate to the Immanuel. What Immanuel is what? God with us. So it's the signs of God with us. And so what are the signs? I want to go back into biblical history just a little bit here, because unless we can have a foundation, you know, you can have a concrete faith that does not have a foundation. You must And that's why John Wesley saw and said to his followers, you should never forget tradition. Tradition is one of those ways that we come to understand the essence and the implications of Scripture. So John Wesley was able to recognize that right away and put it in and put it into his way of interpreting Scripture. That's how United Methodist is one of those ways. You can think about reason, you can think about experience, but tradition is one of those. So we go back to Scripture. 700 years back, like I said, a young man becomes king at age 20. I can't imagine Garfield becoming king. I don't know what decision he's going to be making. But this young man became a king over Judah, the northern kingdom of the divided nation of Israel. And guess what? When one is 20, you still have the mentality of knowing all. Like the teenagers, teenagers will always do that. Everything you tell them, I don't know about you, but I know of my teenagers, whatever I tell them is not the right thing. Oh, that's old faction. And so they know everything. So I won't be surprised that Ahab, being king at age 20, will mess up so big. He takes over the throne and he's saying, well, whatever is tradition, we don't believe in that anymore. We're going to start new thing. That was their new thing at the time. And so he goes back and say, so who is this God that you guys keep talking about? Because as a matter of fact, every Jewish child, at least at the time, from Scripture and from history, from biblical history, they were taught to recite the Shema. Hear, O Israel, your God is one. Of course, they knew the Ten Commandments because they were always taken to the synagogue. Probably they didn't have that much distraction like we have today. I have no idea, but I'm just assuming that they will have to go to maybe the gym, they will have to go to swim class, they will have to go to football practice, soccer practice, all of those things. Probably they were not there. Probably they didn't even have maybe cinema to go to shows on Sunday morning or when it was time, the Lord's Day, the Sabbath. And so every Jewish child, before they turned 5, they knew the Shema. God is one. And they also probably might have known the first four commandments of the Ten Commandments. God is one. There you should have no other God besides me. You should not have any graven image. You should not worship anything in my likeness. Because I, God, I am a jealous God. And so they knew, the ancestors of Ahab knew all of these things. Probably he might have been taught by virtue of the fact that he was a Jewish young man and he became king at that age. But he took over the throne and said, well, we're going to do our own thing here. Instead of worshiping the God according to their history that brought his parents, his ancestors, from slavery to the land of milk and honey, he said, no, God is not fair. This God is not fair. What I'm going to do, in fact, I'm going to stick with the Canaanite gods, since they have so many, so that when I have one problem, there is a God assigned to that problem. If I need money, maybe there is a God that will give me money. If I need more power, there is a God that will give me that power. But how in the world can one God have everything? I don't believe that. And so he had all of the multiple gods of the Canaanites. And he brought them in. When God says, I am a jealous God, he is not being vindictive. He's not speaking. He's not saying that if you did wrong, I'm going to do bad to you. I don't think that's what he meant. He's simply saying, I love you. And I don't want you to go wrong. I don't want you to go wrong. He's been very protective of his home. But if that home decides to go his or her way, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of choice. And freedom goes with what? Consequences. Sometimes that's what we forget. Ahab went his own way. In his first 2 years, his nation is captured by a rival country, enemy country. 120 of his soldiers have taken away. About 200 of his officials have been taken into captivity. It's not enough. It's not enough of a sign. He thinks about it and says, well, I don't know what to do. God reaches out to him and says to him, son, through the prophet Isaiah, he said you need to make a turnaround. God is watching you. And you say, let your God go hack if he has nothing to do. So, okay. So what are you going to do? I'm going to form an alliance with another country so that the country will help me. And God says to Isaiah, he said, look, go back to that young man and tell him he doesn't have to form that alliance. The situation is under control. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to go to an enemy country to form an alliance against, this time it was Israel and Syria that have come together. The southern kingdom had joined the enemy country to come and take over Judah. And, of course, God says, no, I'm not going to have my own house to fight against itself. So tell him to stop. And he said, no, I'm not going to stop. This is what I'm going to do. I know it's going to be helpful. So, all right. So what do? Isaiah says to him, if you want to prove God right, ask for a sign from God. Ask for a sign from my God. And you will see this sign and it will be, maybe it will help you. But guess what? He says to Isaiah, I am not going to ask God for a sign. Are you listening to how this whole thing is progressing? This man doesn't know God. He doesn't care about the God of Israel. And Isaiah is telling him, ask God for a sign. If you don't believe what I'm saying, God is going to give you a sign. And he's saying to Isaiah, I am not going to put your God to a test. Why? When he said that, God said to Isaiah, he said, tell him, even if he doesn't ask for a sign, I am going to give you a sign. God intervenes. God intervenes for God's people when God gets to know that there is a semblance of faith in their lives. The scripture tells us, do not put the Lord your God to the test. So this man, even though he was wicked, and history records him for that he was a wicked king, one of the wicked kings of Israel. But for him to refuse to put God to a test, what do you think was happening? God was seeing a totally different person from the people who saw Ahab. Probably Ahab had just gone a little bit astray. But there was something that was still hidden in him, probably in his heart, that none of the people that surrounded him knew about. He was suffering from something that probably most of us suffer from today. Indecision. Not sure. Not really sure. It's there, but some of the things that we do when we one of the methods that the Board of Ordained Ministry of the United Methodist Church does when they go to interview with pastors, prospective pastors coming into the ministry, is to be able to figure out if in fact what they claim to believe is there, but they cannot just articulate. Because humanly speaking, none of us can see in the hearts of another person. But God does. God sees in the very heart, the very depth of our hearts. He says, before our thoughts are formed, He knows them all. And so based on Ahaz's refusal, God told him the secret. He said, none of those kings, the two kings that are forming alliance to attack you, will see the birth of the Messiah. He said, so don't worry about them. It's taken care of. God does not bring evil on people, but God allows evil that people do to take its course. So when you take sword and hit someone with it, God is not going to take that sword to hit you back. What God will do is God will allow the sword to do its work. And so the two kings who wanted to overthrow King Ahab, in fact, they themselves were overthrown before they could even make up their mind. And Judah began to live in peace again. Here is the point. Ahab did not believe when Isaiah told him that a virgin was going to give birth to a child, and this child would be called Immanuel, and Immanuel would mean God is with us. That was one of the worst sins that anyone could commit, right? For us Christians. This person should have no place in before Jesus because he's denying. But what does it say? How do you read that sign? What it means to mean, even that this man had committed the worst sin from our own understanding, maybe we should be right, because if you don't believe in the virgin birth, don't even celebrate Christmas. Because that's the essence of what we're talking about here. Don't celebrate Christmas. And you'll be surprised that even those of us who preach the gospel, there are some of us who preach because maybe that's what we said we would do. But they don't believe it. There was statistics that was taken of clergy people of 5 denominations, including the United Methodist Church, about the virgin birth, and the result was astounding. They asked those clergy people, do you believe in the virgin birth? Of those interviewed, American Lutheran, 19% said no. Baptists, 34%. Episcopalians, 44%. Presbyterians, 49%. United Methodists, 60%. So what are we celebrating? Christmas. What is Christmas? This is the basis of the Christmas that we are celebrating. 700 years later, Jesus is born. God has shown the same sign that He showed 700 years before His birth through the angel Gabriel. And yet, people do not believe, just as Ahab did before. What does the sound of Immanuel tells me? It tells me that God is a merciful God. God is a merciful God. If God were to treat us the way we treat God, none of us would be around. At least I won't be around because of who I am. But I intentionally chose the Apostles' Creed this morning because I wanted us to read it again. This is the season. What do we tell people? What do we tell people about Christmas? Most people argue Jesus wasn't born on Christmas Day. And I said, that's fine, I agree. But probably it was not December, January, or something like that. But one thing I do know is Jesus was born.
Yes.
And if I've been taught that he was born on the day of Christmas, on Christmas Day, and this day has been celebrated to honor him, you know what? I believe it. I believe it. Because what it does to me is it gives me something to look forward to.
Yes.
God is the God of mercy. Not only that, but God's love for us is unconditional.
Yes.
God's love for us is unconditional. To the extent that even if we don't deserve, he will still intervene.
Yes.
He will still come to us. And that's the God we serve. That's what Jesus said. He came into the world not to condemn the world, but that through him the world might be saved. And that's God. That's the message. That's the core message we have. If you don't believe in the very foundation of your faith, which is the virgin birth of Jesus Christ, believe in something else. Find something else to believe in. Because that's the essence of our faith.
Yes.
That's the essence of our faith. The only difference between Jesus and you and me is, and he was able to demonstrate and do exactly what God did, or God wanted him to do, is because he had no sin. He lived a life that God appreciated. And because he had no sin, he could die for sinners. When Jesus was accused of using the power of the prince of the devil to heal people, here's what Jesus said to them, to his accusers. He says to them, a house that is divided among itself will not stand. If I am demon and I'm casting out demon, then the kingdom of demon is not going to stand. So how do you read this sign? I read the sign that God is merciful. God's love is unconditional. And I also know that God is with me. God is with me. That's what he promised, right? I'm going to be with you from the days of old. He made that promise. He's never failed to fulfill that promise. So that no matter what circumstance, whatever the circumstance might be, just know that God is with you. Just know that. He's merciful. He's loving. And he's with you. No matter what the circumstance might be. We are celebrating, or getting ready to celebrate Christmas. I can tell you, Christmas, for most people, is not the same for everybody. There are those from our prayers. There are those who might be in the hospital. There will be people that Christmas will bring a very bad memory to them. There will be places where Christians will not be as joyful as you and myself, because just recently, just 2 days ago in India, 200 churches were burned down. In India. For those people, Christmas is a different thing. For the churches that are struggling, now we just mentioned the 10 churches that are struggling within our district, Christmas for them will be something different. But the good news, no matter what the circumstance, God is with them. God is with them. And when God is with you, no matter what the circumstance, He's going to see you through. That's the God that I believe. I don't know about you. No matter what the circumstance that I find myself in, I'm always holding onto His hand and say, please, do not leave me. Do not leave me. You are loving. You are merciful. You are faithful to your word. Please do not leave me. Signs of the Immanuel. God is with us.